Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpack Trader Training Room for Thursday, January 20th. Please do say hello, and if you feel like you're getting value out of the session, please hit the like button. Good morning, Miles. All right. Getting started this morning. We have a long on crude at that got messy, didn't it? Yeah, so we had the initial long at 9:03 that actually stayed long because the stop and reverse would have adjusted to 57 and never triggered. So that came up and hit target one at 84 for 13 ticks. And it looks like it came back and stopped out for a single tick on the trailer with second position at 72. So 14 ticks on the morning. And that's where we are. Now, unleaded, on the other hand, 9 o'clock start. Ooh. Yeah, that one's messy too. Looks like that one picked up the long that ultimately was a full stop out, and then picked up a 200 long off the 200 EMA that also was a full stop out. So not a good start on unleaded gas this morning. And markets are open. And there they start to come on. It looks like my data is a little bit behind this morning. Once I get everything activated on the new computer, it should speed things up considerably. I hope to have that running for the boot camp on Tuesday. Short at 35,008 on the YM. Getting almost down to money management. Soybeans had a short right at the open. Looks like that actually would have had plenty of time to get in. And now we have a stop and reverse at the full stop out. So we stopped stop and reverse at 13.98 even, and we're now long. Looking for 1400.25 on soybeans. And stopping out on the YM. On the short trade, no long trade. Pound Aussie has a long trade working. From 87.92. Good morning to you too, Roger. I'm running just a little bit behind this morning. Hadn't got the chat box situated in where I normally keep it. And the YM with another short, and that popped through if it was tradable. And it looks like it hit money management already. And possibly target 1. That's not a big trade, so that's probably a target 2 trade. And the YM going through to target 2. That's a very small trade. Just 16 ticks to target 2, but we pick up a nice trailer. Stop now is 35.113. And we do have the crude oil report this morning at 11. So I'll run until about 10:30, 10:35. Then we'll take a pause and I'll get set up for the crude inventory report. $106, it looks like, for the stop on, and now 101. or the YM stop. Quick up move to the session high and then down again. He ain't going to give us a quick break even short. And soybeans still in the long trade. $35.071. So this is turning into a nice trailer on the YM. Short from 114. 061 and 056, and there's a stop out. So 14 and 44, so 58 ticks on the trailer, plus 16 on target for target 2. It's you 74 ticks. Not a huge morning, but one and done nonetheless. Actually, that's probably going to be two and done. It may actually not even be POQ yet with the original. How big was that original loss? That wasn't a big trade either. 20 tick risk, so we only lost 40. So yeah, we're up 34 ticks. So definitely POQ on 2 trades on the YM. No new setups for unleaded. We took the full stop on the initial long. And taking some heat on soybeans now. Let's see if Catapult 845 start was any better for unleaded. That's a full stop on the short. Same along. 3 straight losses. That's a session. Yeah, definitely in a noisy area right there in the open for Catapult on unleaded. So crude, one and done on the 9 a.m. session. The YM is 2 and done. Here going with an initial break even. Pound Aussie is long, sitting just below the entry, and now just above the entry. Soybeans is long, sitting down near the stop. And unleaded had a full loss and he's waiting for actually 2 full losses and is waiting for its third setup. Not a strong morning for unleaded, but successful on crude and the YM. and a potential stop and reverse on the pound Aussie. So that would be at 87.82. And YM's continuing to kick out trades. Crude also winning on the second short trade. And heating oil giving us, and there's our next setup for unleaded. 4521 or 4522. All right, looks like the short has triggered in on the pound Aussie, and the long is triggered in on heating oil, as well as the long triggering in on unleaded. And did we stop out there? Yeah, it looks like we stopped out of the soybeans trade, just barely ticked out. And unleaded going up through targets 1 and 2. So this is a successful trade. Stop now at 45.34. And heating oil hitting fixed target, and about to start trailing the 14 EMA. All right, looks like we've got a little bit of a move. 61.29 for the heating oil stop. 39 for the unleaded stop. And soybeans with a long trade at 13.96 even. And there is target 1 on soybeans. 13.97.75. $134, 61.34 now for the heating oil stop. Lamb making a strong move up through its session highs. Take a look at what's going on in the chat. Okay, nothing going on there. I'm just checking. Questions or comments this morning? And we're coming in about 5 minutes to our 10 a.m. crude session. We would take the 10 a.m. crude session this morning, since that is typically just a 1 hour. Each mini session is just a 1 hour time frame. So we won't be looking at the inventory report until 11. Although we definitely want to beware of choppy price action waiting for that crude oil inventory report. Okay, unleaded to 45.49. Heating oil to 61.39 for the stops. And the stop on soybeans to 96.25 and stopping out. So 8 ticks off of that trade. That's still going to leave us working for more to get positive. If you're continuing to trade on that rather than the one and done trade plan, one and done would have been done with the very first trade. We got two full losses there. See if there's anything going on bean oil this morning. Yeah, that's an early. Yeah, that long is early, so we'll have to wait for that to finish up and give us another trade. But yeah, bean oil is moving strong. Although strong move, but not a fast move. 54 for the unleaded stop. What kind of trade size was that one? Okay, 53 ticks to target 2. And we've got 32 on the trailer so far. 61.42 for the heating oil stop. Moving again. And stopping out at 61.42 on heating oil. And we are in the 10 a.m. session now for crude. Looking for our first trade. Looks a little noisy. And a short now on heating oil, potentially. And a short on crude at 85.72. And that has definitely triggered in. Coming back up to the entry. So crude is short. Unleaded stopped out and picked up a short also. $45.48. Okay, stopping out at 54. Looks like crude did a head fake on us. Came down and tested the 50 and bounced right back up. And unfortunately, we took a full stop on unleaded trade, but reversed along at 46.01, which was also the stop. Break even on the short now, heating oil long, and getting real close to picking up a fixed target on heating oil. And we have another potential stop and reverse on the pound Aussie this morning. That one is at 87.90. 87.98 is where the stop and reverse adjust would put it. That's a major key level. And I think with where the 50 is, I would push it up to 88.01, which is the full stop on the short trade. And heating oil stopping out for a 1-tick break even on the long. Crude still in the short. Depends on which platform you're on, Roger. Symbol for bean oil on NinjaTrader is ZL. It's soybean oil. It's apparently BO on TradeStation. And a stop and reverse at 85.93 on crude. All right. Crude holding, keeping up in the short, as is the pound Aussie. The pound Aussie is Stop and reverse has canceled. Crude stop and reverse still in place. Soybeans, I'm using Counterpunch. It's the setting. I'm using the settings from the trade plan. I believe that's on the website. Sure. They pretty much default setting for Spotlight. I'm using the 80 range or 8 pip range. So that would be on TradeStation, that would be a 0.0008. Crude's still not sure where it's going to go. Finding support in the low 85 90s, or resistance in the 85 low 85 90s, but also finding support at the 20 SMA. It looks like. Is this going to be this could be the bar that breaks down through the 20 SMA. What data are you using, Jim? Because it's the data feed for Forex is absolutely critical. I'm using Awanda data. Most of you, if you had not set up an Awanda account with NinjaTrader as the introducing broker back during the 18 months, 2 years or so that Ninja was introducing, you won't be able to do that, unfortunately, right now. I would love to see Awanda get something in place so that they can continue to offer Ninja connection to NinjaTrader, because it sure is convenient for what I'm doing. Yeah. Okay. So you're using TradeStation data. Yeah, and that your settings should be the same as what was happening with the trade a day trades, and that's exactly what my settings are. Is the same as what today was, which is pretty much the default uh, trade plan. But yeah, you're going to see different trades. The Awanda data is considerably more. I won't say considerably, but it's a fair bit more active than the TradeStation data, is what I have noticed. But it's five max bars set up, three cancel bars, uh, 2 pip offset. That's the 8 pip range, which on NinjaTrader is an 80 tick range. On TradeStation, it's 0.0008. But yeah, pretty much default settings. except for that 3 cancel bars is the only thing I think is not default. I do set my key level adjustments to so that they're automatic. That's something Troy doesn't do for Forex. Works either way. But yes, the differences, there will be some significant differences in trades on between Awanda data and the data that you'll be getting. And the stop and reverse has canceled on crude. So now we have we're still in the short on crude. So still in the shorts on crude and the pound Aussie. But yeah, that's the difference in what you're seeing is the data feeds, because it's amazing how little difference it it takes in the data feed to get completely different setups. And I used to, while the trade a day service was running, I would regularly point that out while I was on Tuesdays and Thursdays, since I'm running different data, obviously. But that's test the data you're using. Now, of course, then you've got the issue with TradeStation that you can't trade that data. You're going to be trading with another broker that's got different data. And has worked for Troy, and that's fine. Since I was already on the NinjaTrader platform, and when NinjaTrader gave the opportunity to use Awanda, I jumped on it, and that's why I'm able to use Awanda right on my NinjaTrader charts and trade right from NinjaTrader. And there is another stop and reverse at 96 on crude. So we missed the stop by 1 tick. And it looks like I got filled anyway, 2 ticks below the stop. That's not nice. And got triggered in as well to the long. So I got a couple of ticks of positive slippage on crude that time. This is just the second trade. So bouncing hard off the 50 EMA, taking one shot through it and then zooming back up on crude. So let's see where that goes. That could be an indication. Failure to get lower could give us a significant move higher. That's a 22 tick target 1 and a 34 tick target 2. So that's a pretty big trade. Don, the crude inventory session, no, it's not. The crude inventory session is at 11 o'clock this morning. Not for all of them, Roger. I believe what we used to use for the euro yen was a 6 pip range. And those are the only two range bars that I've worked with on Spotlight. And I really haven't seen Troy look at that many range bars on Spotlight with. Yeah, now, Jim, are you actually using the trades as they set up on TradeStation, correct? And just actually placing them on IG. So we're still 40 minutes away from the crude oil inventory report. So Thursday is always a half hour later than on Wednesday, because the natural gas inventory comes out at 10:30 on Thursday normally. My best advice on momentum bar settings for Forex, Roger, would be test them. Each pair is going to be a little different, I suspect. And crude pushing up against session highs. Let's see where we go with it. And setting a new session high there. This is, Don, this is just the regular 10 a.m. crude mini session, since we are waiting on the inventory session at 11 today. Normally on crude inventory session days, I would not trade the 10 a.m. session, but it's on the normal Wednesday, it's at 10:30. So with the 11 o'clock inventory report on Thursday, I do go ahead and trade the 10 a.m. session, because that's part of my normal trade plan. Okay. Kind of lost track of unleaded. Looks like it took a full stop and reversed along, then maybe reversed back to short. And very possibly the first short there was avoidable, just because it just wasn't tradable on the spike down. And I would have adjusted around the 50 on that second short. So that one possibly is avoidable as well. And if you avoided that one, you actually would have been still in the 200 EMA trade, long trade. and having hit target 2 on that. All right, crude's slowing down at the session high there. Still got 35 minutes before the inventory report. Heating oil with a trailer on the long. At 62.44. Heating oil also approaching session highs. And soybeans has had a target 2 short with 1 tick on the trail. And now we have a long that's hit all 3 targets. And the trailer's at 13.98, 13.99.25 now. And heating oil with the short setup at 62.44, which is also the current trailing stop on the long. Heating oil going short, and it looks like already hitting money management. And stopping out for a break even. Looks like crude came down and tested the 20 SMA. And see if we can continue. Moved back up after coming close to the 20. Getting down in the low 85, 90s again. See if it can continue up above 86. $86 a barrel and continue moving upward. Okay, Roger. My answer on the momentum question was was basically tested. The only other range bar that I remember we were because we were watching the pound Aussie and the euro yen initially on Spotlight, and we were using the 8 tick range on, or the 8 pip range on the pound Aussie, and 6 pip range on the euro yen. But those are the only two that I know of that we've actually looked at the momentum bars on the currencies. At the time Spotlight originally came out, NetPicks had several things going for the currency, so they had asked him to concentrate on the future side of it. crude getting back up within a tick of the session high again. And it just said a few minutes ago. But yes, for the momentum bars on the Forex pairs, I would definitely say do your testing on those, because those are very likely to be a little bit different because every pair reacts differently. Some pairs move much quicker than others, and some move much more than others. What may be right for the pound Aussie may be way too big or way too small for some other pair. Back in the days of Trend Jumper, the old Euro Yen chart, and it was a custom chart that Troy had generated using two different signal lines than what the other things on Counterpunch, or not Counterpunch, but Trend Jumper used. But it had been just an outstanding trade plan, and he had followed the Euro Yen on various other strategies up until it just Euro Yen had slowed down to the point that it just wasn't worth watching on Spotlight. This didn't give us enough trades, and when it did, it often got into trouble in noise. All right. Pound Aussie pushing down toward money management. Exactly. Now the pound yen 240 4-hour chart, the 240-minute chart, has just been an outstanding chart over numerous years for Counterpunch. And there is money management on the pound Aussie. So stops come to break even. And also picking up target. I got filled on my target one setup. And it looks like crude pushed up through that session high and hit target one. Okay, in a couple of minutes, I'm going to bring it to a close so I can do my transition to and I would not take another trade on crude at this point. With the inventory session coming up in 25 minutes. That's not going to get us positive yet. I see you made a comment, Roger. I have it covered. The text of the comment itself is covered up by what I'm doing, taking care of my pound Aussie trade. Let me see what you. Sure, you're quite welcome. Okay. All right. Target 2 on crude, so that might very well. Let's see what this. See what our loss was on that first trade. $24 tick loss on the first trade. So that would definitely be POQ for the session if you're trading 2 fixed targets. And trading a single position got within 2 ticks, I believe. So basically a break-even session. Yeah, 22 tick target, 22 and 34. All right, folks. I am going to say adieu, and I'll see you in about 20 minutes for the crude inventory session.